That is the title track from Cœur's new album, Cavale. I'm so excited to talk to Cœur, a.k.a. Beatrice Martin, in the studio. How are you?
Hi, Tom.
Nice to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You're going to France tomorrow to be a big shot.
A little bit, yeah.
We were talking about it. Like, I was asking you a little bit about whether it's bigger in Quebec for you or bigger in France, but you said it's kind of...
It's the same. I mean, there's just more people there, and I'm not like that big of a big shot. I'm just,
okay, you are a medium shot.
I'm okay shot.
Yeah, okay. And going to France is good for you? It's comfortable,
Oh, yeah, I love it. And I love this stage where, I'm at in my career where I'm just like kind of running a marathon. Like I've been here for 18 years, been doing this for 18 years, and people still come to the show. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah, remember when we were starting out?
I know. We were babies.
You know what someone took, because I was talking about this before you got on. You were one of the first people I ever talked to.
I know, it's crazy.
When I was guest hosting the show.
Yeah.
And we were too young to be talking to anybody. But you started even younger than, I shouldn't have been allowed on the air. And you started even way younger than I did. You were
I was 18, yeah.
18 years old.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy.
Do you think back to that 18-year-old version of yourself sometimes?
Of course. I think very fondly of her. I think she was very scared. With reason, because, like you're into a very public world all of a sudden. I was like a teenager, like nobody really knew who I was. And all of a sudden people knew who I was, especially in Quebec and in France. So it was a big thing. And I think I navigated it pretty well.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm still here, so.
Speaking of running a marathon and running, watch this. Cavale, run away, like escape. Is that right?
Mm-hmm, that's it.
In English?
Mm-hmm.
Any meaning there?
La cavale can be a term used for a lot of things. Sometimes people say they go on cavale to escape something. And for me, anxiety is truly that feeling, like you're trying to escape. It's your fight or flight feeling. So whenever you have anxiety, you just kind of want to run away. I was like, this is the perfect word for this.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the anxiety a little bit later on, but I really did love the record. And,
thank you.
And I really did listen to it. It's a little bit of a different sound than I'm used to hearing from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like 80s coded, which is something that people have been doing recently. When I first started this project, I was like, you know what? The 80s is the perfect sound to anxiety.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You're kind of like dancing your worries away.
Yeah, there's synthesizers. It's all very frenetic.
Yeah. And I love the 80s because it was like the first time where, music production was getting a little bit more electronic. It was the first time. So it's very interesting. It has a lot of more latitude to do a lot of things. And that was fun. So
let's talk about some of the things that may have been causing some of this anxiety, some of the changes that has been happening in your life in the past little while, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. Let's trauma dump.
Yeah. That's the name. We changed the name of the show recently. I don't know if you know that. So this is your first album since 2021. Which is wild, Beatrice. You've been really busy since then, including taking over a record label. So for some quick background, the Montreal indie label Dare to Care Records was embroiled in allegations of a toxic work environment, sexual misconduct. You step in to buy the label, rename it Bravo Musique, keep the business going. Talk me through that. Why did you want to do that?
Yeah, that was crazy. Basically, the last owner was forced to sell, and I put in an offer. I wasn't sure I was going to get it.
Why did you put in an offer?
Because I could have just sued, everybody and went like, peace out. But a lot of the artists that were on the label are tied to contracts. For a lot of people that don't know how this works, it's very hard to get out of a contract with a label because, you sign for la pérennité in a way, and that's how you, have a great service. And, if you have like 3 albums coming out, the label's going to work really hard to make it work. So everything works super well. So usually your contract is going to be like 1 album plus 1 option. And it's hard to get out of those contracts with reason. That's why there's contracts. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I can sue because I have the means for it, but I'm trying to think about everybody else, which was, at the time, a very special decision on my end.
What do you mean? Like you were like, I need to. I know that I'm going to be okay. I've been a medium shot for a while. But in all seriousness, you were like, I know I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
I have the means to be able to sue and get through this. But there are other artists signed to this label who are not as fortunate
and staff
as I am.
Too.
And
employees. And I've worked with these people, and I was like, this is kind of unfair. They didn't ask for this. So I'm going to put in an offer. I wasn't sure that I was going to get it because, this is like, there could have been a higher bidder or something like that. But I got it, which was amazing. And then following that, I became an entrepreneur, and I renamed the company because I was like, this is going to be my label now. Might as well give it a name that resonates with what I like. And I'm super happy and super pleased with what we've done so far. Like the artists are happy. We've had a great year at La Disque with a lot of wins, and that was just insane to me. I'm so proud to see that my initial investment, turned out to be amazing.
Was this something you was on your mind beforehand?
No.
Did you ever want to own a record label?
No. That was not part of the plan. My plan was just to do concerts and sing my songs.
Yeah.
And then I became gestionnaire, like we say in Quebec in French.
What's the most surprising thing about running a record label that maybe you didn't predict?
More HR, less artistic stuff. In a way, I thought it would be more like, the series Empire or Nashville, where you're like discovering artists and it's like insane.
You're going to bars and changing people's lives.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of that, but it's also a lot of managing expectations, budget, stuff like that, which I didn't expect. But that comes with the company, of course.
Is it also an opportunity to like? I was thinking about when you were talking about to like, how do you feel about 18-year-old Beatrice? And to be fair, I don't know a lot of your story. In terms of like the industry and how you were treated, but like, is there ever an opportunity to be like, oh, I can do for other artists what I wish other people had done for me when I was starting out?
Yeah, in a way, that's kind of how I see it now. To have, I guess, somebody that's been through this as an artist, it really gave me another perspective on contracts. It gave me a different perspective on how we do career planification. And things have really changed now. We don't really have the same trajectory for artists as I had. When I first started my music, it was very traditional. I was like, okay, you're going to put out a single and then you're going to go through radio and that's going to be that. Now it's like you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's good to have that perspective, I think, as an artist. And it's a nice little touch, I think, for the people that want to sign with us.
It feels like a lot though, man. Like to be taking over a record label unexpectedly that wasn't in the cards, sort of taking it over coming out of sort of a bad situation.
Yeah.
At the same time, I remember you and I talking. I think we were trying to just figure out whether it was over Instagram or whether it was on the radio. But you were also having major vocal cord issues.
Yeah, that was in 2021, like right at the time where I was supposed to buy the label. So that was very stressful for me.
Vocal cord issues. You also had like a young. I mean, Romy was young.
Yeah, and I think I got pregnant like not long after. Yeah, which was a lot.
Did it feel like a lot? Did it feel like...
It did. It did. And also when we did the acquisition, a lot of the old team left. So as soon as I, announced that I was doing the acquisition, there's a lot of the old team that left. So I was like, okay, I have to rebuild this whole team and find staff. And during the pandemic, that was a big thing. So yeah, it was a lot. Now that I think back on it, it was intense, but I have an amazing team now that I got to choose. And
but even outside of the HR side of things, did you learn something new about yourself by going through a lot of stuff at once?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely know how to respond to stressful situations a little bit more than I thought I could. I mean, before I thought I couldn't handle things, and now I think it helps me realize that I had a little bit more courage than I thought I did.
You had a little bit more courage than you thought you did.
Yeah. It's nice.
I didn't know you didn't think you were courageous. I mean, I would have thought I thought it would have required that to be this young 18-year-old artist and, and touring the world and all that.
Yeah, but everything kind of happened it was an accident. I didn't get famous because I wanted to be famous. I didn't want to sing because I wanted to sing. It was just because this one day my sister was like, let's put your song on MySpace just to exert revenge on that one ex of yours. And that was it.
Right. How was coming back to songwriting after all that?
It was
big
hard.
crisis? Yeah?
Yeah, it was hard.
What was hard about it?
Well, because big things happen. So acquisitions, baby, I had a baby. And then I think I had a little bit of a postpartum depression. My pregnancy was a little intense, anxiety-wise. So yeah, coming back to songwriting, it was hard. I couldn't write anything for 2 years after giving birth to my son. So that was a little stressful. Yeah.
Can you tell me what the first day you did sit down to write afterwards?
Yes. So I had to talk to other artists to gain perspective, I think. So I asked this artist that I really like called Gab Bouchard, who's like a singer-songwriter from Quebec, and he's amazing. And he told me, what's going on with you right now? Like, what's going on in your life? And I was like, I'm scared of everything. I'm actually so scared of everything. I'm so anxious. And he was like, well, write about that. And that kind of unlocked something in me. And I went to it and I wrote this first song called Laisse-moi pleurer, which means let me cry. Because I realized that I lived in a life, a very public life that doesn't leave a lot of room to tell people that you're either depressed or sad or that you're going through things, and the show must go on always. So that was the song, yeah.
You were wondering how you could write songs because you were so anxious and you were feeling so kind of, listen, man, I get it. Like I have had debilitating anxiety in my life. Like, and then you were, but you felt like, because I would have thought that you being this very, like, you're known for writing these songs that are very heartfelt and very, I would have thought it wouldn't have been, I don't mean any disrespect to you, and I totally understand it. My brain says, oh, it would have been much easier for you to be open about anxiety or depression, given that you're a songwriter who's not known for like writing pop hits, but writing for writing beautiful little, beautiful songs about their lives.
I think it was so easy. It was so easy for me to channel broken hearts than it was to talk about my own, I guess, I wouldn't say broken heart, but my own like anxiety, my own dark thoughts, because there's a lot of stigma around mental health also. And my life has been very public in the French world, in the Francophone world. So it's like, oh, are they gonna take my words and like use them a certain way, like for clickbait and whatnot? Because that has happened in the past, and I was a little scared, a little reserved. But then I was like, I'm 36 now. I'm okay with telling people stuff and oversharing. It's part of my thing now. I really enjoy it.
Can I ask you, when I was having really bad anxiety, it was because my dad had died unexpectedly, and so I thought it was he had cancer, but he died very quickly. Yeah. So my anxiety was, I'm going to die. Like if I had
that's OCD,
if I had a pain in my arm, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
That's a stroke. I'm going to die. If I had a headache, it's a brain aneurysm, I'm going to die. God. If I drank water and I didn't see it getting poured, if that's poison, I'm going to die.
I hear you.
What can I ask what your anxiety looked like?
So I have OCD, and I had this too. It's called contamination OCD and fear of death OCD, and it's awful. It's awful. And you have to name it, and you have to do exposition therapy to be able to like get through it. So like me, when I do a concert, like a lot of things can go wrong. But I force myself to put myself in this situation, so I'm not scared anymore, and that's very powerful. I'm very lucky to have this, to be able to get through it.
Can you talk, if you want to?
Yeah.
Can you talk me through that, like the step? I mean, like for me, I remember for exposure therapy, I had this thing where I went to the dentist one time, and my mouth got numbed, and I was like, oh, that's a sign of this. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And I actually in a session put like Novocaine on my.
I'm so glad
mouth.
we're talking about this because.
Are you really?
I hear you so much.
Okay, cool. I put like I couldn't tell whether you were being sarcastic and being like, I'm so glad we're talking about this.
I'm like, yes.
I put like Novocaine on my lips so that I would feel the numbness.
Oh my God.
So that I would learn that the numbness is okay.
Yeah.
And then through exposure over
Makes
time.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I did go into remission for it, and I'm feeling a lot better these days. When you say, like, I learned some tools so I can get on stage and do all this stuff, what did you learn?
So I had, like, 2 really rough OCD moments in my life. The worst moment was when I was pregnant with my son, where I would not even want to drink water because I was scared the water would contaminate my son.
Yeah.
And that was dangerous to me and my son. So I had to really go through ergotherapy. I don't know if what's the term in English? Ergotherapy it's called. And it's like basically you have to rewire your brain to like put yourself in situations where you're going to, be exposed to a lot of things. Like kind of like what you did.
Exposure therapy or cognitive behavioral therapy. Yeah.
And it was peak pandemic. So like, I was so scared I was going to get COVID and like get all these things. So I would like force myself to like, be in places where other people were. And that was so hard. It was so hard. I was not feeling well. And then for shows, when I go on tour, I'm very scared to get sick because the whole show depends on me not being sick.
Yeah.
So I, sometimes I have to check myself. I'd be like, you know what? If you eat this raspberry that you haven't washed, you're not going to get sick, So just like eat it.
Eat it and see how you don't get sick.
You don't get sick. Yeah, but it's not fun. It's not fun. No.
It's really not. Are you doing okay these days?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's harder for the people around you because sometimes you want to control your environment, and that's hard for the people that are around you that care about you. My husband is tired. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it really is much worse for the people.
Yeah,
people around us. Can we play some music? Not to stay too much on the anxiety train here right now. Can we play some music there in 5, Emily?
J'ai peur d'entendre que ce que je chante ne leur va plus. J'ai peur d'apprendre que mon temps est révolu. J'ai peur des doutes.
That is
Ceux qui me font
Pensée intrusive
Pensée intrusive, yeah, intrusive thoughts.
from my guest Cœur de Pirate. Talk to me a little bit about that song.
So that song I did at the very end of the album, and it's not at the end. During, like, when you listen to the album, it's like in the middle because it kind of cuts the album in two because it serves as kind of like the intrusive thoughts that happen when you have anxiety and that tell you that you're not going to be able to do anything and you should just stop.
What are some of the thoughts in the song?
So j'ai peur de perdre, j'ai peur de tomber dans l'oubli. I'm scared to be forgotten.
I'm scared to be forgotten.
Yeah. Which is like kind of crazy because it's not about being known, publicly known. I think it's because my life is so linked to music that if I stop doing music tomorrow, this is like, I can't exist anymore. I've been doing this for 18 years. I've been Cœur de Pirate as long as I've been Beatrice Martin, which is crazy.
Yeah, you have been Cœur de Pirate as long as you were before you were Cœur de Pirate.
Yeah, so I started at 18. I was Beatrice Martin before. I'm still Beatrice, but like it's just I became this person at 18. Now I'm 36, and it's been kind of like half of my existence. So it's crazy. I don't know who I would be if I stopped tomorrow. Yeah.
But I'm still not I'm scared to be forgotten.
So yeah, I think that's if you're forgotten tomorrow, if people don't listen to what you do anymore. My favorite thing is writing songs, So if I can't write songs anymore and I cannot perform, then who am I? Yeah.
Did you get any answers?
Not yet.
Really?
Not yet, because things are still going well, so I can still play shows, but how would I diversify my activities? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, it's one of those things. I heard this interview one time with Conan O'Brien where he talked about going to, which actor? I think it was Clark Gable. He went to Clark Gable's grave, and like Clark Gable was the biggest movie star of like the 40s and 50s, I want to say, right?
Yes.
No one more famous. The Timothy Chalamet of a time when it was even bigger to be Timothy, like there was no one more famous. And he went there and no one really knew who he was anymore, and there were no flowers there.
That's insane.
And he had this moment of just kind of going like, well, of course.
Yeah.
Everything I'm doing is ephemeral.
Yeah.
Everything I'm doing, no matter what I do, 100 years from now, people aren't going to talk about it. But I think that's different. So I think about that a lot, but I think that's different than what you're talking about, which is like, I still need to support myself. I still need to like exist as an artist. And what happens as I get older, if people aren't listening to my music as much.
Yeah, no, and it's also the people that see themselves in my work drive the whole thing. So if people aren't listening to what I do anymore, then it's like, what's my purpose?
Is songwriting helpful with dealing with any of this stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this album was really helpful. If people can find themselves a little bit in that, that's amazing.
Was it helpful for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's always helpful for me, selfishly.
Explain that to me, how songwriting about this is helpful.
It's kind of a form of therapy, You get to jolt down what you've been through in that specific moment, and that helps you gain some kind of understanding, and you get to move on after. Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes when you're writing things down, when you're dealing with this stuff. So the thing that I would do, this is how it would work with me, is that, just in case I know people are dying to know how I feel. The way it would work was when I would have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Do you mind talking about this?
Oh my God, of course. Go, please.
Are you sure?
Yeah, my husband cannot hear me about this anymore, so we're doing this.
Okay, good.
This is my therapy.
You know what? My wife's probably very happy too. I would write down the thoughts that I would be having, and I wouldn't even realize that I was having those thoughts. So
that's crazy.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would be like, I'm feeling this way. Oh, I'm actually feeling this way. I didn't realize until I wrote it down. I didn't realize how I was really feeling until I wrote it down.
And does that create more anxiety, or there's like a resolution?
It feels like there's a resolution.
Okay, that's good.
Because then I can kind of argue with it a little bit.
Okay,
like,
that's good.
Like, does that happen in songwriting? Are you ever surprised by what you write songs about? Like how I didn't know I felt that way?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. And also what's weird is listening to your old stuff and going like, that's crazy, the perspective I had on this situation or that situation.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I listened to some songs off my second album recently, even like my first one, because like there was one song that was in the Summer I Turned Pretty, that TV show on Amazon, and it's like a song that was from my first album, and it was kind of a forgotten song,
Mais c'est une bonne chanson, fait que on va regarder ça. deux, sans compter nos morts, qu'on laisse derrière des ébauches fanées, des secrets de carrière.
I had to play it again because I'm playing it during the show. And I was listening to the lyrics and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I had this kind of like weird adult-like perspective.
Corbeau, right?
By Corbeau, yeah. And I was like 18. And that's fascinating to me. I'm proud of the girl that I was.
What was the perspective you had on what when you were in that song?
I don't know. I felt like an old person having a perspective on a situation that happens to a teenager, basically, which is like, friends with benefits, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it was the poetry that I used. I was like really impressed. And I don't know if I could be able to write a song like that today.
Or
I don't
like,
know.
Would you even have why did that young version of myself have
It's
that
crazy.
perspective that I
Yeah.
don't have now?
I was like, who hurt you?
Speaking of teenagers, can we just play one more song here?
Mais tu ne me laisses pas entrer dans ton château de sable. Les murs suisses pour se détruire à la moindre rafale. Mais je sais.
Chateau de Sable from Cœur, the House of Sand?
Sandcastle.
Sandcastle.
Yeah.
I went too literal.
It's okay.
For Chateau, I went house. Yeah. Okay, right. Jane will make me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Sandcastle.
Yeah.
You wrote that song for your daughter.
I did. Also for parents of teenagers. It's very hard to communicate when you have a teenager for some reason. I think it's because they, not all teenagers, but a lot of them, they're asserting their independence. So it's you hit a lot of walls, and I was like, what can I use as a bridge for her? Can I write a song that will be like a bridge, and that even if today she finds it very cringe, because she probably does, eventually this is kind of like my gift to her, and it'll live on forever. So when she's later on, if I'm not there anymore, she can listen to this song, and I'll still be there for her in a way. Yeah.
What are some of the lines in the song that you're saying to her?
I talk about
because I listened to the song, but obviously my French isn't all that great. So what do you talk about in the
Quand
song?
vient le temps de chasser les orages, c'est when comes the time to shoo away.
For you to leave, for you to leave the house.
No, but the orage is storm. I feel like Rosalia right now when she's trying to explain her Spanish lyrics to Zane Lowe right now.
All I really, believe me, I'm no Zane Lowe. All I really want to know is what are the things you're saying. I don't need you to say the lyrics. I want to know what you're saying to Romy.
I'm saying because she has a lot of anxiety, and her anxiety comes out as like a storm, basically. Like she gets so angry. And I don't know if a lot of kids have that at home, like other teenagers, but I remember I was like that too. So the only way for me to be there for her is to just take it in a way, and to a certain extent, but to listen to her and be there for her when she's feeling this way. That's kind of what I'm saying in the song, is I'm always going to be there.
Did you play for Romy?
I think she listened to it. And she will never tell me, at least not now, what she thinks about it. No. But eventually, maybe.
Do you see similarities between... You mentioned that... Okay, so maybe I'm going a little deep here, but you mentioned that so much of the way that Romy's acting, your daughter's acting, is sort of the way that you were acting when you were her age too, and you sort of understand it. And when you were writing the song, are you also thinking about that younger version of yourself?
For sure. Thinking about how I was with my parents, but my parents are from another generation where, they really did not understand how to communicate with teenagers, I think, back then, because there were no resources and, gentle parenting wasn't a thing and stuff like that. They were fine, but, it was, I think they were very confused. And Romy, I actually do understand why she's like this, in a way. And I try to be as supportive as I can. Yeah.
You're as long Cœur de Pirate as you are Beatrice Martin. What do you think 18-year-old Beatrice Martin would be most surprised by this version of yourself?
Oh my God. I don't know, that I'm still going, that I'm still doing stuff in French, that I'm...
Are you still doing stuff in French? She would have thought you would have not been doing stuff in French still?
Yeah, I had opportunities in my life to actually go elsewhere, and I didn't. I took some of them and I left some of them because I was like, you know what? I think French is important, and there's a way to write in French that I can't really do in English. So I'm going to keep doing that. And yeah, I think she'd be surprised at that for sure. Yeah.
That you're still going.
I'm still going. Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Not just that, you were recently recognized as Trailblazer of the Year at the Billboard Canada Women in Music Awards in October. What did that mean to you?
I mean, that was really cool. It's our two industries are very separate in a way. Like, I'm one of the rare artists that can still tour the rest of Canada. I wish it wasn't the case, but I get to play big shows in Edmonton. I get to play big shows in Quebec. It's really cool.
You're one of the rare Quebecois artists.
Yeah, that's sing in French. Yeah.
That is able to play. Yeah, there's not.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, unfortunately, there's not that many.
Right.
And I hope this will change because I think there's actually people that want to listen to French music in the rest of Canada. So,
Well, why do you think it worked for you?
I don't know. I really don't know. And I think it's because I appeared at a time where maybe indie music was more of a thing, more like mainstream. And it's a very niche category I'm in because whenever I play shows in the rest of Canada and the States, and it's very indie. Yeah, it's very like people like that are really like francophiles that like Brigitte Bardot and that like like very classic French music. So I get into this category. It's really cool.
What?
I like it.
People come to see you in your heartbreak punk songs because they like Edith Piaf.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I didn't know.
Well, now you know.
What's interesting about this award is you've won a lot of awards for your music, but that award, Trailblazer of the Year, is a bit different because it means that you have done something, you have broken some ground. What does it mean for you to get that kind of award at 36?
I mean, it's cool to get it at 36. That's for sure. Like I'm still youngish, like mid-30s. I think that's young. I mean, people on TikTok would say otherwise.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I know. But the award is not for a song you wrote.
No, it was for my actions too. So the fact that I got the label, that I used, I guess my power, that's not how you notoriety.
Notoriety.
Yeah, that I used that to be able to invest in Quebec culture. I think that was part of the award. I think so. I'm just glad that I got some recognition, but honestly, like it's just cool. It's just cool stuff, and it was fun to have that evening with all the people of the rest of Canada that got to say "Cœur de Pirate." I loved it.
Did someone say "Cœur de Pirate"?
I love the effort. I love it.
Now you have me anxious about.
No, but people can say "Cœur de Pirate." I think it's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to be as anxious about how I pronounce it this entire interview. I would say that your 18-year-old self, and maybe I'll say this because I don't know if you can. I think your 18-year-old self would be probably pretty proud of your 36-year-old self.
Oh, that's nice.
I think she would.
We can hug her.
We can. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun. It was like therapy a little bit.
I'll send you my bill right afterwards. I'm very affordable.